Improving interpersonal relationships with self-disclosure. The art of what is too much to tell people and what is too little.
Self-disclosure is defined as the purposeful disclosure of personal information to another person and can be both verbal and non-verbal. Have you ever had someone tell you their whole life story and you don't even know their name? This would be considered too much self-disclosure. There is an act to finding the balance between what is too much and what is too little to tell people. Here are some perspectives of people at different ages and working within different environments. Meet our interviewee.
My name is Kevin Obando.
Okay. So what is your current job?
My current job is here at Double Shot Coffee.
Okay. Hi, my name's Alejandra. And
Meet our
I'm
interviewee.
in San Jose State. I'm majoring in psychology and I work in the ABA field.
My name is Jason. I'm an electrical engineer and I do hardware development at a very large firm in Silicon Valley.
What is self-disclosure?
I believe it means just talking about yourself and just like letting people know who you are.
It's telling someone about yourself.
Sure, I think self-disclosure is putting yourself out there in the workplace, letting people get to know your interests and what you like to do, both inside and outside of work.
How would you describe your relationship at work?
More like just acquaintances, like just speak to them while we're at work, and yeah, it's not super strict or anything, just making sure that we have a rapport with each other.
I tend to be very friendly. I work with kids, so once I'm like at work, I feel like a child myself because my work, I have to play with them and then kind of do goals, but most of the time I'm just playing with them and trying to have them be social with me and things like that.
The majority of the people at work I would consider acquaintances or close acquaintances. Throughout my career, I've made people who I consider my friends and past employers, and I still try to keep in touch with those people and talk to them and just stay in their lives and make sure I still know them.
How much do you find yourself disclosing at work?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
With some of the coworkers. Some of the coworkers that I've been working with for a longer time, I feel that I'm more comfortable with them, so I can talk to them more about my personal life and what's going on, if we at the moment or how I'm feeling.
Very little, maybe just, like I have a daughter, sometimes that's one of the excuses I might not be able to go to work, that I'm married because I have a picture of my family. That's it, nothing more deeper or...
I usually am not forthcoming, but if somebody asks how my weekend was, or if they see a t-shirt or hat that I'm wearing that has a band or sports team, I'll engage conversation and see if they share those same interests, but I try to keep it fairly light.
How much is too much?
I think it's too much whenever you start getting into like really deep personal like past or stuff that's like that's only your closest people know.
Too much about myself would just be like maybe my emotions. I never disclose my emotions at work. Maybe my personal life, more like the way me and my husband are, maybe my friends. I tend to separate my work life from my school life from my personal life. Everything's kind of their own little realm.
I think too much would be things like religion and politics, things that could get very heated very quickly and maybe are not suitable for the workplace. Not enough would be people that just refuse to talk at all. I've had very few people like that, but they do exist, and sometimes it's hard to get to know people even on a level where you want to work with them if they don't talk about themselves at all.
Have you ever had a bad experience with self-disclosure?
I don't think I have, because I take pride in like knowing when to say certain things and knowing how to like present myself.
I've had that encounter where I just met you because of another friend, and then you're over here crying and you're telling us all your personal stuff. Like, I feel like you should have waited for me to get up and leave, because then that little group became like super awkward, and then now I'll describe you as, remember that girl that cried? Like, how is she now?
Yeah, in the past I've had people that would talk about their relationships or problems in their relationships in particular outside of work, to the point where they're distracted and their work suffers because of those problems.
In conclusion, it is important to make a good first impression. This entails having a balance of what you self-disclose in your work environment. As the video showed, topics such as politics and religion are an example of too much disclosure in the workplace. Also, compartmentalizing the different aspects of your life, social versus personal versus work, is a good way to ensure the balance of what is right to self-disclose.